Jason Burmis is here with me. Jason, say what's up, man.
How you doing, brother?
Chilling, brother. Say what's up to the people real quick, man.
How you doing, folks?
I want to say hello to everybody in the chat real quick before we proceed. Sophia the bot, what's going on? Lucky, how are you, Lucky? Hope everything is well. TFR Wookie, what's going on, brother? Salamo, how are you? D-Man, what's up, D-Man? What's going on? Jean Michelle, what's going on? I haven't seen you in a bit. Greetings to you. Blessings. B Kiwi, what's good? How are you? Enlightened Dawn, what's going on? Wolf, what's up, Lone Wolf? How you doing? I hope everything is well. Dawn's to you too. What is going on? American, what is that? American Prisoner. I feel you, brother. How are you, man? Good to see you. Bammy, what's up, Bammy? Spoonman88, what's up? Alchemical Tech, greetings to you, and thank you for your help earlier. And Outgoing Citizen, what is going on? Appreciate all of you guys. It's the Infinite Fringe. We're going to get into a lot of information in this 30 minutes. We're going to try to cram a lot of things in here. So, real quick, Jay. So we got Hillary Clinton in 2016 along with Donald Trump. And both of them just so happened to have incredible connections to Jeffrey Epstein. Is this a mistake? Is this a coincidence? How do we explain something like this? And this is what we have to choose from when it comes to the presidency of the United States.
And, you know, it's very true. Trump was brave enough to play the Epstein card in that interview with Sean Hannity and point out Bill Clinton's relationship to him. Bill Clinton recently tried to say, oh, you know, it was only after my presidency I was involved, but the Daily Beast did some digging. They went into the Clinton library and they found out, I believe, since about 92, Epstein had been donating and attending. So that was a huge lie. Ghislaine Maxwell, who I think we're going to talk about a little bit later, his right-hand procurer and the daughter of Robert Maxwell, media mogul, print magnate, and Israeli super spy. She ended up vacationing with Chelsea, according to this report, and we have the picture of her at Chelsea Clinton's wedding. Now, as far as the allegations of Hillary Clinton herself, they did come from Eric Prince, so I will take them with a little bit of a grain of salt, as I do not trust the Prince of Darkness and the so-called brainchild behind Blackwater, as if intelligence wasn't behind that first big private military group that's now come full circle after getting rid of its name twice with XE Services and then Academy. Hey, we'll just call it Blackwater again because it's hip. Anyway, he contends that Hillary Clinton had been to the island at least 6 times, and that's that information. So it's really a den of thieves, backstabbers, and liars where we're getting a lot of this stuff. But at the same time, there's photographs, there are documents, and it seems to come from all sides. What I would say is more interesting with Hillary Clinton is her connection to the NXIVM cult. The cult in upstate New York, connected to Claire and Sarah Bronfman, whose father was Edgar Bronfman, the quote-unquote Seagram's heir, but he was involved with a lot more than that. He was the head of the World Jewish Congress. He got the American Medal of Freedom from Bill Clinton, and he was Hillary Clinton's mentor. Hillary Clinton actually spoke at his memorial service. They were extremely close. And during that whole NXIVM scandal, Claire Bronfman and I believe it was Nancy Salzman in the indictment were shown to do illegal campaign fundraising for Clinton all the way back in 2007 during the primaries of the 2008 Democratic election.
What is NXIVM exactly?
So, NXIVM is born out of another failed multi-marketing company and self-help group called Consumer Byline, which I believe was actually out of Arkansas, which is quite the coincidence. So up in upstate New York, about 8, yeah, I know, such a coinky-dink, right?
What a coincidence.
Yeah, what a coincidence. So about 80 miles from where I live, right outside of Albany, is a place called Clifton Park. It's rather nice, and it becomes the home base for NXIVM, an executive success program where this guy, Keith Raniere, who now has all the accusations and earmarks of pedophilia even back then during Consumer Byline, starts this multi-level marketing success program loosely based around Scientology, and he has all these patents, and he's able to get the Bronfman billionaire sisters involved in this heavily. And then we start going deep. I mean, they're running Rainbow Cultural Garden preschools, not only in this country, but in Mexico and in Europe as well. It involves Emmanuel Salinas, who is the son of Carlos Salinas, the former president of Mexico. It involves Mexican nationals. And a lot of that still has been covered up. I mean, it looks like Claire Bronfman's going to get a slap on the wrist, and Rainier, the so-called head of it, who was doing all sorts of unspeakable things to not only children but women and other people, he's going to get the brunt. But we'll see. He kept his mouth shut. He didn't even put up a defense. So weird. They literally did not. First of all, Claire Bronfman, for this whole case, set aside $14.3 million for the defense fund of everybody else, including what appears to be Allison Mack, the actress, Nancy Salzman and her daughter, Lauren Salzman, Raniere, and I think at least one other person. So she's going to get, Claire Bronfman, we only know what she's getting. She's getting 22 to 72 months, and if she gets, actually it might be 12 to 72, it might be 22. Well, regardless, if she gets more than 27, she gets to appeal it, and she's going to pay $6 million. Her sister Sarah has not been in the country since any of this has happened, and I don't suspect she'll be back. So then Rainier doesn't put up a defense at all. He doesn't call a witness. He basically allows his lawyer to give a closing argument, and that's it. And now we're awaiting sentencing in September. But what kind of person doesn't put up a defense?
It's crazy, man. This is something like NXIVM is not something I've been like 100% familiar with until, you know, it hit the mainstream and you got the Smallville actress with Allison Mack and all that other stuff, right? And then I went to your channel and I found out a little bit more about it, and it's some really sticky stuff. I don't understand. I really don't understand the sexual appetites of some of these people. You know, it's just incredible to me. But I'll bring you on about NXIVM at some other point. But thank you for dropping that.
You got it.
We do want to talk about Ghislaine Maxwell and her father just a little bit. You wanted to do that, and I want to allow you the time to do that. So go ahead.
Yeah, so let's talk about Ghislaine Maxwell. First of all, she seems to be with Epstein throughout the years. And Dershowitz, although there's some weird accounts of whether it was now Lord Rothschild who introduced them or brought them up and they were introduced together in the mid to late 90s, or now it was in the early 2000s by Lady Rothschild. He's given some separate accounts there, but any account, they're together. And the Rothschilds are involved. And these same Rothschilds, by the way, end up spending the night, first night of their honeymoon, in the White House, in the Lincoln bedroom, while the Clintons are there. Just to let you know, none of this is connected, I'm sure. So Ghislaine Maxwell, her father is this big media magnate. And yeah, he knew Trump. He knew everybody, okay? And there's a book out there that alleges he was also an Israeli super spy. Gives a lot of different, a lot of compelling information. Now, this guy has a boat called the Lady Ghislaine, yes, same as his daughter, where it's not clear whether he drowned or he had a heart attack, but he's found outside the boat floating, basically. And a lot of people think it was, you know, a hit. He had already had his time, but he's credited with stealing the Promise software. Now, Promise is something I've been talking about for a long time in this track, trace, and database society. See, Promise and Carnivore were those initial softwares that were going through all those keywords of telecommunications that you didn't think were going through the NSA, but they were. And he stole that technology, apparently, and then it's been redistributed since. But it's really interesting that he would have those intelligence connections. His daughter may have those intelligence connections. And anyway you look at it, you look at the lawsuits and now the indictments, it was a network of women that helped him. Sarah Kellen is named in one of the lawsuits. Leslie Groff is named. Now, there's another woman called Nasida, I think it's Nasida Marcinkova. She's now in new documents that literally, I think, got unsealed today. I was reading just before this. Yeah, let's get her name right now. It is Nadia Marcinkova. And if you read these documents, it says that she was sold to Epstein as a young girl by her family in Yugoslavia. So we're literally dealing with people that buy children as sex slaves, okay, and then use them as procurers, because it was another girl that told this after she was forced into a three-way with Marcinkova and Epstein.
Jesus Christ, man. That came out today?
I'll tell you what, it's being reported, whether this has been unsealed to the point before, it's being reported in the Daily Mail, and literally maybe 10 minutes before I went live with you, I downloaded the PDF and I read it, and yes, it says she was purchased.